Exchange motives, appreciation, selling real estate in a lower appreciating market and moving it into a higher appreciating market. Now, I first wanted to show you guys for fun a quick example of what were some of the top 3 highest appreciating markets in the past 5 years, and maybe what some of the lower appreciating markets were. To my surprise, Idaho came in at number 1 at 121% appreciation, followed by Utah and Arizona. The lowest appreciation, as you can guess, well, they happen to be located in some of the least populated states in the US. North Dakota, Alaska, and Louisiana. Louisiana being the exception, of course. So really what I want to ask yourselves during this example of appreciation and what that motivation might be for an exchange is, what am I looking for as far as my investment benefit here in the next 5 years, the next 10 years? Where am I at in the season of investing? Right? Am I at a place where I need income, I need cash flow to help supplement my cost of living or my lifestyle? Or am I at a place where I no longer need cash flow, right? I prefer appreciation, where it's something long-term, I can create more equity and use that to fund a legacy item, maybe help one of your kids or in the family. So really just understand where you're at, what you have from your portfolio investments, and whether it's still serving you where you're currently at from where you might have been when you bought it. The last thing is, what do I need from an income or long-term approach as far as, am I needing income here in the next couple of years, or is it more important that really I don't want the income because it's going to mean more taxes for me? I'd rather just have my money out there working for me in the form of generating equity that I can use at a later date with an exchange. Therefore, you don't have to worry about taxes. In this example, we're going to do a case study on the niche versus the net. And what I mean by that is helping clients Don and Sandy out back in 2021. So Don and Sandy owned a condo here in Nobel Drive in the UTC area. Now, this building was unique in that it's a 62 plus senior living community. So in this particular instance, the building was only able to be financed with cash 99% of the time, right? So there's no FHA, conventional, VA, there's none of those options available in this building. Additionally, you have the age restriction. And then also, because it is a assisted living community, they do come with meal plans and amenities. And therefore, your monthly fee to own in this building is in excess of $2,000 a month. So this is a great example where Sandy and Don inherited the property. It was never merely meant to be a rental property, but it had been rented out for a long period of time. What was important to them is they didn't want to be locked into this property where it was really subject to economic conditions. What I mean by that is, throughout the course of the past decade, values in that building were really volatile, right? They could be up or down. And if they were down, they were way down. And if they were up, they were way up. But being where they are in the season of life, they didn't want to be in a position that was so volatile. So what we were able to do is sell that property for them, connect them with Johnny Williams in the Fort Worth, Dallas area there in Texas, and identify a duplex that they could reinvest this money into. Now, this helped in a multitude of ways because, one, they own the property and had multiple beneficiaries, so they're able to get out of that position and have their own investment options. Two, they were able to actually realize more income. But three, what's most important for this example is the appreciation. So Don and Sandy sold the property in 2020, and they sold the property for $515. What's interesting to note here is that 2 years later, their same property sold for $425. So this is a great example. We were in a fully appreciated growth market here in San Diego, yet their condo in those 2 years went down almost 100,000. Exactly why we did what we did. Now, looking at it just from comparing apples to apples, I looked up the property on Redfin just to get a ballpark figure, grabbed $575. I looked up their duplex, grabbed $517, And what we're really focusing on is what appreciation did each unit realize from when they sold the property. Happy to report that, as you can see, their appreciation benefit was 112%, meaning rather than appreciating 60,000, it appreciated 127,000, right? That's over 2 times greater than the 60,000. So not only did we realize a better outcome and a more stable growth environment for them for appreciation to be realized, they also improved their net operating income standpoint from a cash flow. So as you can see here, we really were able to put together a plan, help them reinvest, establish the right market for them, and have a best possible outcome had they not done something versus had they did. So it's important to understand where you're at and what you might want to be putting together, even if it's not now, right? These are conversations I have with Don and Sandy several years in advance of them actually doing it. And as you can see, they planned, we put together a strategy, and they created a great solution with a tremendous outcome. So be thinking to yourself, is there a property that I own that maybe I inherited that was never meant to be a rental, or maybe it's just not an asset that ultimately is going to help support what I need for my next 5 to 10 years, depending on what your goals are.